Says preparing live stream. It should be on.
Okay, I got
All
it
right.
from here.
Okay.
All right. We're waiting for confirmation here.
Should be.
And let me get that on my monitor. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, we are indeed live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone that's joining us in our Zoom room, so to speak, here behind the curtain. And good morning to all of you looking in on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or wherever you may be in your ministries anywhere around the world. This is Reverend Dr. 𝗧𝗵𝗁 with Unity Prosperity Ocean International, coming at you this Sunday morning for your spiritual nourishment, as we do every week at 9 a.m., unless it's a Sunday that we're live in our space, and that's coming up on June 14th. So welcome in here. We have a special treat today. We have Reverend 𝗧𝗵𝗁 going to be our speaker today. I might have to jump off a little bit early. Hopefully I don't. I have to speak at Unity Church of Downriver in Michigan today. But we want to just welcome you all in today and invite you to just settle into that place of thanksgiving as we just acknowledge the presence and power that God is, knowing that there's no place we can go where God is not.
Amen.
The very nature of God is omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience, mind, life. And we give thanks for all that God is available to us in every moment of every day. Today, I was inspired to get us started with taking a blast from the past here and open up my 100 Years of Daily Word book. I just love going in this and just opening up and seeing where does it take me. And since today's talking about the pen that thinks today, and for those of you looking in on social media, I hope you followed the instructions in the preview or in the newsletter and you have a pen and a page or a pencil and paper or whatever it is, because we are going to have to do a little bit of participation today. It should participate every week, but when we have Reverend 𝗧𝗵𝗁 speaking, we will be participating. All right, so our word for today, if you feel inspired, I invite you to allow these words to be the words of your heart, because we're looking to, it doesn't put the word in here, but this is guidance. And we're going to talk a little bit, I think, about guidance, although I haven't heard the talk, but our affirmation for today is, I will speak positive words that are inspired by inner guidance. Let's affirm that together. I will speak positive words that are inspired by inner guidance. And one more time. I will speak positive words that are inspired by inner guidance. Words are positive, powerful tools. Not positive. Words are powerful tools, excuse me. They encourage and heal. They convey understanding and establish unity between people. When they are inspired by inner guidance, our words can be just the blessing that others need to receive. Words that are directed by Spirit unlock doors within our own minds and hearts so that the light of God may shine forth. As we choose our words today, we do so knowing that they will impart comfort and bring understanding to light. As we allow God's Spirit within to guide our words, divine ideas will manifest through them. We know that God works through our words to bring needed blessings to a friend, a coworker, or a stranger. Our positive instructions, conversations, letters, and other communications are prompted by inner guidance. Our words carry with them blessing and blessings of God's wisdom and love. Again, I will speak positive words that are inspired by inner guidance. And from Luke chapter 12, verse 12, for the Holy Spirit will teach you in that very hour what you ought to say. And my friends, that's from April 9th, 1990, by the way, from the book 100 Years of Daily Word. It came out a couple of years ago. So with that, without further ado, we're going to hand it over to Reverend Tene. Come on out, Tene, the pen that thinks with Reverend Tene 𝗧𝗵𝘁, or should we say Sugar Ray Tene, packing a punch from the pulpit.
Oh my gosh. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Sunday of, it's not going to be tea time with Tene, but it's spiritual time with Tene. So I want you to first start off with I want you to pick up the pen, the instrument that you intend to write with. Okay. And I want to just show you, I for those of you who don't know, I absolutely really do love fountain pens. My grandmother had one. I absolutely love them. This is one with the little black ink, and really sad. I don't know where hers is. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, love them. So I want you to pick up your pen and I want you to just think about for a second what you normally do with it. Do you usually use something to write with, or are you just somebody right now that just simply texts all the time or types all the time, or even voice to text so that you don't have to write because you think it's too slow? Just think about that for just a second. Although I love fountain pens, this is a pen when I don't have the ink or anything like that, just simply write with a nicer pen. I tend, Stephen and I both, we tend to write with nicer utensils or not utensils, but instruments, because we know that it's important. So I want you to think for a second, and this is a really strange question, but what if your pen already knows things that your brain hasn't figured out yet? Probably sounds very strange, doesn't it? Well, I know it sounds a little silly, but it's a good silly. And it's exactly where we're going to go from here today. Here, there are no rules, no grades, no audience, no anything, but I want whatever to show up, and you let it show up and show out. So I want, as you're feeling the pen, I want you to feel the weight of it. I want you to even now just tap it on your palm, just feeling the weight. I want you to hear the sound if you can hear it. Do you hear just the tapping of the ink pen? Or do you hear the ink cartridge that's in there moving along as well? Okay? But it's something that we really need to pay attention to, because as you've heard me in the past, our body is the instrument of the mind, and the pen is also an instrument of what's coming from there as well. Okay? So now I want you for a second to put on your scientist hat. Okay? There are a group of scientists for many years that have put on something called a 256 channel brain cap. And it looks like a swim cap, and I'm sure we all have seen it somewhere on TV in a documentary, unless you actually participated in it yourself. I don't know. But when you type, they found out that the brain has more activity when we actually write than when we type. Typing is great, but the writing is what gets to you. So what happens is, when you type, the brain stays in a fairly narrow lane, and it has fast, repetitive movements, low sensory engagement, because you're just typing and you're not really involved as much as you are when you are writing. But when you write by hand, especially when you're writing in cursive by hand, where the letters are all joined together, you're starting to get into the neural networks and pathways in your brain, and they're going to start to light up. You have your movement, your sight, your memory, the feeling nature. And I always talk about feeling nature. So all of them are taking action and talking to each other at one time. In other words, your hand moves and your brain lights up. The memory, creativity, insight, emotional processing, all lighting up, kind of like lighting up a city, because we are a vessel, we are our own world, right? So we're lighting ourselves up. So sometimes we might say to someone or even ourselves, I figure things out when I write things down. But you don't really find a connection. You just think, I think I do that. Well, that's not by accident. It's really biology. So let's go a little deeper. The hand isn't just following an order from the brain, although it is, but it's just not. It's actually helping the brain work a little bit different to help the thoughts come through. So like when you're trying to remember a word, you normally say, you know what I'm trying to say, and your hands start moving, or you try to see if you can draw it out so the other person can get exactly what you're saying, almost like Pictionary, but on paper. That's really what's going on. So today, we are going to talk about why the little burst of energy in us plays such big rules in our world on how we work, how we speak, how we feel when we write. So I want to start by breathing. Let's just breathe in. Most days we look at our phone, we scroll, we react to something, we answer, we consume, whether it's eating or whether we're listening. You know, you got to be careful of where you are. You're consuming that energy and whatever the sounds are in whatever environment you happen to be in. But what we don't do is sit long enough and listen. So when we sit and stop just producing, we can hear things that we're not usually ever listening to. You know, we can hear and then there's listening. Hearing is just, you're hearing it, but are you truly listening to what's being said? Connected handwriting, where your letters stay joined together as you're writing, where the pen just keeps moving, it does something sneaky. It slows the thought down just enough for your awareness to catch up. Think of it like the difference between driving past a beautiful sunset at 70 miles an hour versus actually sitting there, watching it, enjoying it, and just taking it in. There's a difference. It's the same sunset, but a whole different experience. Clarity doesn't always arrive through force. Sometimes it arrives through stillness, and handwriting is a kind of moving stillness. So the very heart of what we're going to talk about is handwriting, clarity. So I want you to pick up your pen again, whether it's your fountain pen or whatever you have. And I want you to write on your paper very slowly, as slow as you possibly can. I want you to write, I am here now. Now I want you to write it again, slowly. I am here now. Make sure all the letters are still connected. It's cursive. If you're like me, sometimes I go back and forth between print and cursive, but hopefully it's in cursive. I want you to feel the ink pen as you're writing it. Hear the sound that it's making on the paper if you can. Notice the texture of the paper beneath your hand. You're not writing for anyone. You're actually arriving. Think of it this way. When you walk into someone's house or you see someone, you know you're going to meet up, you say, I'm here. It's the same concept, except you're on paper. You don't think about it probably like that, but that's exactly what it is. It's the arrival of what's behind the mask that we wear, this costume, this vessel. It's that inner person, the spirit. Okay? Now, go back to your paper. And without stopping, I want you to write, what truth has been trying to reach me beneath all of this noise? What truth has been trying to reach me beneath all of the noise? Now, if you don't know what to write to the answer to that question, just simply write, I don't know what to write right now. And that's okay. If an emotion comes up, write that if you like. Give yourself permission to write that. If clarity arrives, then follow it. What needs your attention right now? What have you been moving too fast to actually hear? What vision is quietly asking to become clear? Now, I want you to ask yourself, what is the one thing in my life right now that feels most true? That feels, not thinks. What is the one thing that's going on in my life right now that feels the most true? Now I want you to look at what you wrote. And I want you to become aware that although it probably seemed as you were just recording your thoughts, you were actually becoming whatever it is you were writing. If you pay attention to how you were feeling, you weren't just recording it, you were feeling it. The feeling should have been there as you were writing it. It was total concentration, total focus, total clarity. You couldn't be anywhere else. So that's what this is about today, clarity. Writing allows you to be clear. Sometimes we say we don't know what to do, what decision to make. Write about it. Not just journal, but write, reflect, feel. Now I want you to put, if you're all done, put the ink pen or whatever the writing utensil was. Put it down, and I want you to close your eyes if you can, if you're not driving or anything like that. And for 2 minutes, we're going to have a meditation. I want you to take a slow, deep breath through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Feel your hands resting, feet flat on the floor. I want you to notice that your body is probably a little quieter than when we initially started. This is what happens when our bodies and our busy minds stop performing through the identity we have chosen, and we just simply exist. Now ask yourself, what is becoming clearer for me? What is becoming clearer for me? Now breathe in again and slowly let it out. And when you're ready, open your eyes slowly. Now, today was never really about handwriting, although it's nice and we're learning about it. It's about what happens when you slow down long enough to hear yourself, to listen to yourself. In a world that rewards speed, we slowed down for about 25 minutes. The pen doesn't just carry thought onto paper. Sometimes it helps the mind hear what the soul has been trying to say to us. These are 3 things to carry with you this week. Keep the sentence that you wrote earlier, what is true for me right now? Keep that visible. Put that in the bathroom, on the mirror, the kitchen, the front door, wherever. But keep that visible. Then tomorrow morning, set the timer and do some sort of handwriting exercise, affirmations for yourself that you come up with. Like, I am healthy. I am beautiful. I am loving, whatever it is, but just 5 minutes. I am grateful. Do that before you check your phone or anything. And notice what arrives when you actually slow down. I want to say that is it for today, but thank you for being here. Thank you for picking an ink pen to write with, for being curious enough today. This could have been probably an all-day seminar that I tried to shorten in a very, very short time this morning, but I hope if you were listening, you will have received a message. God bless you.
It was awesome. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to leave it at that for today.
We are.
Okay, I'm going to stop this social media feed. I want
Okay.
to thank everyone for being here. Please stay with us on Zoom for a moment, but I want to thank everyone for looking in on social media across all the channels. And I want you to know that on behalf of myself and Reverend Tanae, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in each and every one of you, seeing your divinity, seeing your good, seeing
Amen.
all that you want to be, do, and have moving into your field of experience. Thank you for joining in with us today. Don't forget to visit our full page, Facebook page, Unity Prosperity Ocean, and sign up to receive our newsletter. That way you can receive the instructions how to come behind the curtain, so to speak, and join us in our Zoom room where we meet before we go live to social media and again after the message is delivered to have some fellowship and to talk and have some discussion and wish each other well and happy birthdays and all that fun stuff. And don't forget to mark June 12th if you're local to Northwest Florida. June 14th. June 12th is Reverend Tanae's birthday. June 14th is our next live and in-person date at 105 Lewis Street, Fort
Right.
Walton Beach. So we'll see you there at 10 a.m. Central Time. So with that, I should say, we're on our social media feed. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you next week, 9 a.m. Central Time. God bless you. Oh, you have to stop it, Reverend Tanae, because you started it. So
That's
up on the top
right.
there now. And
I see it.